not this again. Well, what do you know? My temporary fix worked only temporary. Yeah, that's a lot of air in there. This is my temporary fix. So I circumvented the return line, and then I plugged the thermal valve, and apparently not good enough. I might even replace the whole filter because it might be sucking air from somewhere underneath, just in case. But one more time, I have to purge the lines. Oh, the fun. Greeting, viewers. We are going to talk today about update on the channels because I haven't done anything in forever. Partially because I'm lazy and partially because I lost my phone. So all the footage that I had, that I kind of collected along the way with all the updates on golf, on the fluid film, on the various things, they are just lost to the sands of time. I'm gonna try to recreate at least some of them because especially the fluid film, I know that's a hot topic for a lot of you guys because it's November, so it's time to redo the fluid film on the vehicles that they're gonna receive it. So it will be a good time to actually kind of redo the whole project update on the fluid film alone. Also, update on the golf. It's pretty much done after forever and a day, and I'm gonna kind of put a little montage of what exactly happened and why I fired my old mechanic and why I have a new mechanic that I'm actually pleased with. So that's gonna happen after I'm done with this intro. Also, I have a new project that's right behind me, and I had a, how should I put this, a little bit of a bad start with it because it's a little more than I can chew, or at least was planning to chew on. So what I'm gonna do is all the videos that pertaining that thing behind me are gonna go into the separate, I'm gonna organize it in a separate channel because it's a doozy. It's a, I'm not gonna say a fun project, but you can laugh at my expense at my calamities because I already have plenty. So that's gonna be I want to say a winter project for me. I still don't know if I'll be able to finish it up at all, unless I put a whole bunch of money in it, which is not gonna happen. This was not supposed to be this expensive. And I haven't even started yet, and I already blew through a lot of my budget for that. I'm not going to say all of it, but 95% of the budget that I was planning for that thing is already gone. And no, it does not run. Yeah, what can I say? I'm an idiot. Anyway, back to the golf. So, sometimes in February of this year, I dropped my trusted Golf at the mechanic to replace the rear bushings, rear axle bushings, because they're a pain in the neck to replace, and plus I don't have tools for that. Also to replace the rear brakes because the right one was chewed up. Since you're replacing the rear ones, might as well replace the front ones since they were kind of rusty. And thankfully PowerStop make a nice little kit. No, I don't have any kickbacks from them, I just like the product, so it's a nice little setup. Also told them to replace the parking brake cables because the right one was chewed up, and also while they're doing that, to replace the front struts because to complement the rear ones they already replaced. So I dropped the car off, spoke with the owner, the actual owner, who is kind of mechanic and whatnot. He has a couple of his mechanics doing the job. He's just the guy who runs the business. And We kind of chit chat. He's a car guy. I didn't have any problems with him talking about the car stuff and whatnot. He knows his stuff. And initially, I said to him, "Can you actually do this? Because you're kind of not really doing the foreign vehicles." He was like, "Yeah, that's just it's a bushing on the rear subframe axle. No big deal. Also, the front suspension is also very, you know, nothing specific. Brakes, everybody can do that pretty much. So no problem whatsoever." I gave them all the parts that they needed to do. I collect them all because I didn't want to encounter any snags in a sense of, hey, we're waiting for this and that and all that stuff. So all the parts were sitting in the back of the car, front struts, parking brake cables, the disc brake kit, and also miscellaneous couple of things like the little clips for the rear brake cables, sorry, the parking brake cables, because I know that sometimes they can break and whatnot. I did not want something like that to hold them down. Okay, fine, no problem. And I was very, very specific about how to install the bushings on the rear brake, on the rear axle subframe, because they need to be clocked in because they're not symmetrical. So if you don't put them correctly, they will actually kind of bind and kind of twist the rear axle, and it will basically start chewing up the tires. The car won't track straight, etc., etc., etc. Minor detail, but I emphasize them. And also, there was an instruction manual, instruction diagram in the box, and I told him, hey, this has to be done correctly, right? Okay, no problem. Can you give me a time frame? He says, probably by the end of the week. I was like, no rush whatsoever. You guys can have car more than a week. He says, if it's not done this week, it's gonna be done by next week. I was like, sweet, okay, no problem. Any questions? Give me a shout. Okay. Few weeks passed by. I didn't hear anything from them, so I stopped by. Oh, we're very busy. It's not done yet. We're working on it. It's kind of rusty. We have to kind of spray the penetrating walls and all that stuff. Give us about a week or so, and we'll finish it out for sure. All right, fine. Thankfully, I have more than one car. I was like, I'm not in a rush. Let's just get it done correctly. Okay, a few weeks passed by again. Mind you, this is already like month plus going on from initial estimate of 1 week, maybe two. I stopped by again. Hey, what's going on? I didn't hear from you guys. Did you lost my phone? What's going on? Oh yeah, and your car is not done yet. It's still, yeah, it's giving us troubles and whatnot. We're not done with it yet. The front is done, but the rear is not. I'm like, it's been like, yeah, we know we're kind of busy and all that stuff. I was like, all right, fine. Finally, I get the call from them. 2 months. 2 months after I dropped the car off for initial week or so, or maybe two, to come and get it. It's done. I was like, oh, sweetness, man, finally. I really want that car back. I'm kind of, I bought the car to drive it, not to sit in the mechanic shop, right? Come to pick up the car. Immediately, as soon as as they drove it in, I see the parking brakes cable sitting on the parcel shelf. I was like, dude, you're supposed to replace these. That's one of the reasons why I wanted that to replace, because the right rear was broken, and I think that's the reason why that caliper was snagging and causing that rear brake to snag and destroy that rotor. Picture here. Oh yeah, we are very sorry. Stop by next week. Sometimes we are very busy. It's like Friday, and we'll take care of that. No charge, no problem whatsoever. I was like, all right, fine. I mean, I understand. Things go awry. Fine. The moment I sat in a car and drove off for like 3 feet, I hear this noise coming from the front driver's uh, wheel, clunk, clunk, clunk. And I'm like, something is hitting somewhere. And I'm like, these are the big discs. Are they actually not fitting underneath those things? I don't know. So I pulled back in. I was like, something is making noise up front. Yeah. When you come back, we'll take a look at that as well. I was like, all right, fine, okay. Let's see. Sat in the car again. Start driving again 10 15 feet, clonk clonk, clonk, kind of loud, right? And I'm not driving this, so I go back, and I'm like, I don't feel okay driving this. There's something hitting something in the back and in front, and I'm like, take a look. So they took the car in the back. 10 minutes later, they're like, oh yeah, heat shield was catching up on the wheel weight or whatnot. It's fixed. All right, cool. All right, no problem. Perfect. Thank you very much. I paid everything, gave them a nice little tip, and I was like, finally, I got my Golf back, Start driving, and immediately there's like illumination on the dashboard saying that the brake pads are warm. I was like, that's kind of odd, but I'm like, maybe you just need to brake in or something like that. I'm like, it's not. I mean, the brakes are fine. I'm just gonna drive home and do it. Okay, no problem. Sure. So that was the week of 4th of July, I believe. And I came home and I was like, you know what? I can replace the parking brake myself. It's not that big of a deal. How hard can it be? Wrong. But the problem is, the moment I put the car on a jack stand, I realized that nope, they did not replace. They did replace the bushings. They did not pay attention to how things are oriented, and I was like, my blood pressure went up. I was like, after all the stuff that I told them, and even after when I was picking up the car, I specifically asked the owner itself. I was like, did you make sure that the bushings are oriented correctly like I asked you to? I mean, I'm trying not to be an asshole and ask. And they're like, yeah, that guy who's installing that, he's very meticulous, all that stuff, you have no problem. Come to find out, no, that's not the case. So at this point, I'm really peeved. So I'm like, I'm not touching anything around here. You're going back. But since I already had the car on jack stands, might as well do the rust proofing and whatnot. So I put the car on jack stands, and then I started finding things left and right. And I started to get really, really mad. So let's just look at that, how that went. So this is the image that I saw immediately after I left the shop. The illumination on the dashboard for the sensor, because they forgot to plug it in. 2 seconds deal. And also how they abated the noise with the heat shield. They just bent the crap out of it. Yep. Also, you can see how they employed the heavy-hitting sledgehammer to fix things up and accidentally did some damage along the way. This is the front A-arm that has X marks on it. I don't know. They also forgot to correct install the ABS sensor, so it was rubbing on the rear tire. They also forgot to replace the pin boots on both top and on the bottom side of the rear brakes, and that's the side that was actually rubbing on the disc. So I was really peeved, and what peeved me even more, the Evolution kit comes with those, and I never got them back. So yeah, this is the installation of the bushings. You can see the red where they are, and the yellow is where they're supposed to be on both left and right side. And that's not the end of the creativity. This is the front rotor mounted on the wrong side. Yeah, they swapped the rotors. Crazy. But the worst thing is, they actually did not replace the bushings on the top of the perches, which are those. They're still old, so they had to be done all over again. And the insult to the injury is the good old mechanic mark on the white upholstery. Oh yeah, fun stuff. So the following Monday, I get back to the mechanic shop, and I told them, hey, again, speak with the owner, and I'm like, hey, here's what happened. I asked you guys like 14 million times to do this and that this way. That did not happen. By the way, this is wrong, that's wrong, also this is wrong. You guys need to fix this. I paid you guys good money to do this job, not to think, mess things up. Oh my goodness, we're so sorry and all that stuff. Oh, okay, all right. So I'm dropping the car off right now. Yes, you can. Okay, no problem. When is gonna be done? By Friday. This Friday? Yes, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna make this right. No problem whatsoever. All right. Friday comes and goes. Next Friday comes and goes. Third Friday comes and goes. Month passes by. I did not hear a word from them. The following Wednesday, I call. Some chick, probably secretary, answers the phone. She has no clue about. I'm like, Blue Golf? You guys had it for like 3 months already? I don't know. I'm like, is name owner of the owner of the store there? No, he already left for the day. I'm like, all right, can you call me back tomorrow about this, because this is kind of going on beyond any kind of normals and whatnots. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna personally make sure that this happened and all that stuff. That then somebody's gonna call you tomorrow. Somebody call me tomorrow? Nope. I'm like, all right. So following day, Friday, I go over there and I'm like, I'm taking my car. You guys had it for 3 months. This is, is it done? Well, we were supposed to then. Nope. The car was sitting for that long that the air got into the system again, couldn't start it at the spot. I had to call the tow truck to get me out there. Once I got it home, I discovered that they did not touch it. They did not touch it. Everything was exactly the same, just like as I dropped it off first time, or actually second time, to fix the mistakes and the blunders that they did on the initial visit. And at that point, I was done with them. I was like, I am taking my car to somebody else, because this is retarded. I mean, 3 months to fix really simple mechanical stuff. It's not like, you're working on some exotic or godforsaken thing that it's not in production anymore. Yeah, about that. Parts are all there. I mean, I gave you all the parts. If you had a question, call me. I can, at least tell you, hey, look into this website, this YouTube video, and all that stuff. None of that happened, and I was done with that mechanic. It took me a few more months to find a different mechanic, to get parts again to him, get all that replaced, get all that fixed. In the meantime, I got new tires, because the old tires were from like a century ago, so I got that replaced. And Golf is like almost 100% back, I mean, the way it's supposed to be. Really like enjoying driving it. So yes, I am finally happy with it. But dear Lord, it's November right now. This whole saga started in February. Yeah, and I just got the car back like a month ago. Yeah. So moral of the story is, trust your mechanic, but always verify. Trust, but verify. Because I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming whoever. It's just a unfortunate set of events. But still, I was on the receiving end. Did not like it, and no, I did not take it laying down. There's still some stuff that I'm gonna do about that to try to at least get the cost of the parts back, because yes, I have to pay everything myself all over again, so they'll make it twice to fix that car up. But yeah, anyway, so enough with the me complaining. We are going to start with a new series on this little thing, and hopefully that's going to be another set of calamities and another set of very funny haha how Augie is making his own life miserable videos, and we'll go from there.